Hi, I'm Brian Maxwell, the owner and founder of Sales Professionals of America Recruiting. And I'm going to share with you 3 reasons that general managers are terminated from dealerships. I have one dealer group in particularly that told me that they have let go 28 general managers within the last 90 days. Now, they only have 90 stores. So that's a third of their upper management team relieved of duty. And here's what they shared with me. The main 3 reasons, number 1, was their lack of willingness to adjust to the times. See, a lot of people that are in these GM spots, they're in their 40s, maybe 50s. Rarely do you catch a person that's in their 30s at that particular spot. So they came up during the real hate, when the car business was really tough and it was cutthroat and it was ruthless. Well, guess what? The game has changed. Today's consumers are a lot more intelligent. They're a lot less patient. Also, general society is a lot more emotional, a lot more sensitive. So those hard driving, nails to the walls, lead with the whip as opposed to the carrot ways of running a store just don't work today. And even worse, unbeknownst to the general manager, a lot of times, the people that they have in the management positions as sales managers or general sales managers, they lack the skill and the expertise to really understand what it takes to generate attention and attract in the right type of candidates. They lack the ability and the skill to actually train these people. It trips me out. I watch a sales manager tell this person, yeah, you got to be 15 cars a month. You need to be 20 cars a month. When they themselves was an 8-car a month person and just outlasted everybody, which is how they got the position. So if you're going to tell somebody what they need to do, but you're unable to show them what it takes and how to implement it, how to apply it, how to succeed with it, your words are useless. But instead of taking it on the chin and being personally responsible for their staff's ability or inability to perform, guess what they tell the boss man or boss lady? Oh, this person sucks. They don't want to listen to what I say. I've told them over and over and over again what to do, and they just don't do it. But at the end of the day, you know who ends up getting blamed? The general manager. Because corporate office is looking at it saying, hey man, we're spending a ton of money advertising, running these ads for people. We're spending a ton of money on television, on radio to get customers in here, and yet we're not seeing any increases. Now, the GMs, they got there because they are mostly intelligent, hard-driving people. So they're not going to blame their staff down the line. They're going to take it on the chin. They're fired, and guess what? The sales managers are still sitting there. And that's unfair. So if you're a GM, you better pay attention to what I'm saying because I see it. I literally have been in dealerships before, talking with the general manager or so, and he's new. You can tell he's only been there a couple of months. And he's trying to show and prove. And I say, listen, man, here's what I do. I work with dealer groups and dealerships all around the country. And I would like to at least speak with you about how I can get some really talented salespeople in here, get them trained up. And all you have to do is pick and choose from the talent pool and make sure that you have the tools accessible for them to be successful. Because even after I leave, I'll still be working with these people. You know what they say? Oh, that's okay. We take care of everything in-house. I do it my way. And whenever I hear one of them say that, I always chuckle inside. Because what ends up happening is around 6 to 8 months later, when I go back to that store, there's a brand new general manager there. I share with him the experience that I had with the previous one. He sees where his mistake was, and guess what he does? Man, let's sit down and have a talk about this. And most of those, or a lot of those, are my dealer clients today. Too much pride and lack of willingness to understand that the same way the advertising department puts together those commercials, those television ads, those radio ads to attract the right type of customers, there are companies and people such as myself who take that same approach and put in that same, if not more, effort to attracting and bringing in quality people. Because to me, you have to focus as much, if not more, on the quality of the people you have in the store, because your marketing or your advertising can work perfectly. And you can get droves of good customers, quality potential clients in your dealership. But if you have the wrong people engaging with them, the marketing dollars go down the drain. You miss out on tons of opportunities and you help make your competitors richer. And that's corporate suicide. So one thing I wish dealerships will realize, their area of expertise is helping people make smart, safe buying decisions and helping them drive off, in the vehicles that they want. An automotive dealership is not a recruiting and training hub. It's not. And many times they lack the staff and the time to actually give these people the TLC. The number one reason people leave dealerships is because they feel lost, they've lost their confidence, and they don't feel like anybody cares about helping them be successful. And as unfortunate as this may sound, it's true. The GM is so busy, he has no idea that his people are being treated like stepchild, being disrespected and talked to like pieces of crap. But yet when he gets that pink slip and being let go and he begins to reflect, he begins to see, or she begins to see. Then when they move on, hopefully they learn from the mistake, which is this. The game has changed. This is a new era. Time and effort within the dealership should be spent helping those customers, because I've seen stores that get not as much traffic as a store that may be up the road, but close far more sales, hold far more growth, and maintain far more successful teams. Why? Because their main focus is on their people. They let others do what they do best to help them do what they do best. If you help people buy vehicles best and drive off in quality vehicles best, stick to that. And if there are people who specialize in attracting and bringing in quality talent, who are skilled and qualified to train and educate these people, you have to be willing to expand your mind and your thinking and at least hear it out. You know what baffles me? I see dealerships that beg customers, give us another shot. They tell their sales team, call this person back, follow up with them, stay on them, do all of those things. If a customer has a bad experience, get them back in the store, get them back in here. Now, everything they want that guest that comes to their store to do are everything that they are unwilling to do whenever somebody approaches them with an opportunity. And it baffles me, but it also helps me understand why their sales team struggles and sucks many times. I mean, even a garbage can gets a steak. So some dealerships move some units because they're the closest ones in the area. They have exactly what the person wants, and they're going to probably sell it for the lowest price. Why? Because the sales team lacks the skill, the confidence, and the ability to not just negotiate price, but to justify price by increasing value, by really educating this person on the new ways that business is done, educating them on these vehicles are discounted right out the gate. The need for negotiation, that ended, 10 years ago. Things have changed. As a matter of fact, the fact that you saw the price online as in compared to everyone else is what got you in. So we've already given you a discounted price to minimize the length of time that you have to be here, and really just to help you focus on landing on what it is that's going to best fit your needs. Because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a good deal on the wrong vehicle. But most salespeople don't know how to educate them and talk about that. Most sales managers don't even know how to do it. And yet the person that suffers is this GM. So number one, lack of focus on sales team, or lack of having the right people on the seat of the bus to really do that. Number two, not enough consistent sales training. Watching some modules or send them in a 2 or a 3 day or a week-long class is nowhere near enough. And if you're expecting these people to go home and train on their own, you know it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But if you lead with the carrot as opposed to the whip, and you really give these people the inspiration, the motivation, and the education to go out there and get it done, what you'll see is their confidence will increase, their results will get better and improve, i.e., your results at the dealership will improve. Your gross profits will improve, which means your ability to maintain that position a lot longer gets that much better. And the third thing is this: unwilling to adapt change. And these aren't my things. These are what dealer groups told me as to why they had to let go of so many people. Unwilling to accept change. The fact of the matter is things have changed. This is 2016. And those days of, listen, customers have to bow down to what we say, or trying to run these types of mind games that we went through, that our parents went through, our grandparents went through, that stuff doesn't work anymore. These people are too smart. Folks need to be given, sales consultants have to be given real world techniques, real talking points, real methods that they can apply. And I highly encourage you, it's better to act now than later. So if you have the opportunity, and whether you interact, do business with me, this is not a sales pitch. This is an education pitch, because what I tell any GM when they either buck up or they may have an attitude, and no matter how successful I am at this, it's just like some customers. You can't please everybody. Some will, some won't, so what? But whenever I walk out of a store with a general manager that is even unwilling to listen to how he may be able or she may be able to increase the performance of their dealership, I immediately start the clock ticking. And what many of them lack the understanding of is that I'll be there when they're gone. That's what they don't get. So they're not affecting me or companies like me. They're only hurting themselves, because this is what I do. The proof is in the pudding. But for them, their lifeline, their employment depends on the quality of the people they have in the store. And so the willingness to at least listen, to determine, if this may be of value, is, you know, one of the most priceless things that you could possibly do if you are a GM. So here's the things you want to key in on. Number one, if you have sales managers and GSMs that are handling the hiring, make sure you at least get them educated. Send them through some training classes, because it really is a unique skill. Also, number two, if you don't have a consistent training plan, listen, a 1-hour sales meeting every day of the week is not sales training. It's a meeting. Typically, it's a bitch out session where they're in there going over how piss poor somebody did, how bad they sucked, and how their numbers were this. And then after the meeting, now go get them. That is the most unproductive things I see going on at a lot of stores. But be focused on consistently having them work on their skills. Put different contests out there. Have walk-around contests where whoever does the best walk-around gets a $100 prize. And guess what? Maybe not even the best. Whoever does a 5-star walk-around can win $100. That way everybody's motivated. Or pass out worksheets on particular makes and models with quizzes on it saying, take it right now, whoever can get it back here with all the answers right, standing right here within the next minute, wins a gift card to McDonald's. I don't know, whatever you want to use. So focused on sales training. And number three, be willing to listen. There are a lot of good companies and good sales trainers out there that are really doing great things. So listen, observe. You may find out that they can help save you thousands by coming in there, bringing the talent to your store, getting them educated, and giving you the freedom to stop running those ads, spending thousands of dollars on that, stop paying people guarantees and draws that you're never going to recoup back, and really only deal with people who want to be in this business, who have been educated the right way and given the tools to succeed. If you do those three things, I'm sure when I pop into your store, you'll still be there. But if you don't, I'm pretty sure I'll be talking to your replacement. So, hey, if you'd like to know how Sales Professionals of America Recruiting can help you, visit www.spoar.us. That's www.spoar.us. Or give me a call at 904-438-8556, and let's go over some, quick details, do some fact finding. I'll give you some pricing options, and let's see how Sales Professionals of America can go to work and help you. All right. Other than that, I'm Brian Maxwell. I look forward to seeing you at the dealership.